Hello, fellow lords, knights, and peasants. This is Connor, and welcome to Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord. And this is a siege, my very first siege, and my very first campaign in this game. Played a lot of the first game on Warband with quite a few of their mods, but this is the first time I'm actually setting myself the goal of having a campaign and trying to finish it in Bannerlord. So here we are. Now, I haven't brought that many troops with me. I just basically an ally of Vlandia. I really do like their armor and just their weapons and how their troops look. It's a very Norman-inspired force. You know, William the Conqueror, the French. And there is another kingdom. I think it's called the Swadians. Are the Swadians in this game? But they're more of a Saxon type, you know, design. English, you know, cross with Saxon or Viking type attire and aesthetic. But here we are, we're trying to take this castle. And this is all pre-recorded. I did have some audio over it, but I wasn't feeling great, so, you know, I wasn't talking that much. So here we are anyway. Currently in my campaign, I have been allied with Vlandia. I am now a lord fighting under King Deathert, my main man, my main boy. He loves me because I am the champion of all the arenas in Vlandia, and I have come to the assistance of many of Vlandia's nobles, so they do like me quite a bit. And in my most recent part of the campaign, I was actually gifted a castle, which made two other lords who've been winning for ages very angry. My first attempt at trying to get like a fiefdom, and I got it. Easy peasy. All I had to do was, like, you know, grease a few palms, take out a few people that weren't like going my way or didn't have my way of thinking. But so far the siege is going well. Very well. There's my troops there with the black background and the golden stag on the foreground. I do love myself a little bit of Baratheon, you know. Ours is the Fury, and I can't wait until the Game of Thrones mod comes out for this. It's going to be spectacular. Amazing is what it's going to be. So, time to dismount and actually get stuck into the fight here. As you can tell, I've got quite a lot of heavy armor, and most of my gear is actually from arenas, tournaments, which are very fun, but they're very easy to cheese. If you want to win in a tournament, in my opinion, the most difficult part is the mounted combat when you're like jousting other competitors. But you can just kind of circle enemy NPCs, and they really don't know what to do. I mean, these guys look like they've already cleared out this tower, this gatehouse. Let's head upstairs and see if they actually have. I mean, okay, there's nobody down there. Oh, nope, there's still some Aegis up top, thinking that they're going to make a bit of a difference here today. Okay, let's show them. Oh, okay, I'm being pelted by arrows here. Take them out, come on. This is a sword that I... Oh, okay, the length of this thing's actually holding me back a little bit. It is quite long for a sword. Oh, what happened there? What the hell? How the hell can I be rubber banding in single player? I have no idea what just happened there, but... Victory is ours. This day goes to the Vlandians. The best kingdom in this bloody game. Look at us go. My helmet's all covered in blood. It's so cool. I probably should download some mods for this. I know there's a dismemberment one, and I want it. I don't know why I already don't have it, but victory is ours, and I don't think at least that I lost a single one of my guys. So at the moment, with my army, my troops, I'm kind of just like experimenting a little bit to see what's good and what isn't. My melee infantry are kind of mixed with swordsmen, bill men, and that's just not men that are called bill, it's a weapon type. It's very dangerous, it's very lethal in this game, and it was in the previous game too. But there's Unthry, a noble lord of a very noble house of Vlandia, and he's offering to give me some troops here for aiding him in the battle. And I've only got one spot left, and I didn't know what to do here. I mean, I do want a primarily Vlandian force. I took the Battanian guy, but I'll take whatever prisoners I can get, and we can ransom them off in whatever time we get to. What's that, a stone banner? I think I have a Fury one equipped, which gives my guys like a 0.05 increased damage buff. Okay, so we weren't actually part of the faction that began the siege, or the party that began the siege, so we don't get to loot it, which is fine. I was just passing, thought that this force of like, what, 1,300 men. I could actually use the help of like 50. So, I mean, getting anything out of that was worth it. I mean, it's really cool to see just the scale and scope of the battles in Mount and Blade 2 Bannerlord. Pretty amazing. And look, here's the territory currently that the Western Empire hold. Where I am currently in the campaign, the king himself, Deathert, he is pushing hard eastward, and he has taken most of what you can see here in the south. There is a force of Western Empire troops there, about 1,000 men, just to the south of this force. I don't believe they're going to engage, but no, I don't believe so. Oh, I think they repelled them. They got chased off, so they did halt whatever was going on there. Now, there is a force of 78 currently attacking us. And
that's close enough.
The idea here was just to, you know, engage these guys to show you how the combat works and stuff. And the combat can be quite challenging. You do need to kind of be on top of everything in the battles themselves. And as you can see there's a morale bar and a balance of power bar, very similar to the Total War series. And that's not the only Total War familiarity in this game. So I'm just being very careful here, because I don't want to lose this battle. I have like 75 guys under my command, and it's taken me a while to get here. But if you guys want to see a battle, let's get stuck in. And yeah, I was hoping that maybe some of the allied forces to the northeast there would have come to my support. Turns out, you know, we're pretty evenly matched for the most part. They've got a few more men than mine, but my men are of higher quality. And one thing oh, there's that force there. Maybe they haven't actually moved. They are quite close, but let's begin this battle. So I can show you lot how it works. I mean, most of you, if you're interested in Mount and Blade, have probably played this already, but as you can see here, I've got a lot of these crossbowmen. And they've got a large shield which they can actually hide behind. That's the strategy. At least I'm not sure if it works like that in this game. I don't think I've witnessed it so far. But as you can see, it's very similar to the deployment phase in Total War. Whatever game in the series, it's pretty much been like this from the get-go. Got some cavalry here. I'm trying to get these guys all up to be, is it knights or champions? Whatever the top rank is for heavy cavalry. Just so, in case some troops decide to try to flank us, I've got the cavalry to try and mitigate whatever they can do. Some guys in the back there, you can see their melee weaponry is mixed. Most of them are spearmen and pikemen, because dealing with the Western Empire, I have had to deal with a lot of cataphracts, which are very heavy cavalry. And as you can see here, they sent in a few scouts just to see what our formation was about, and javelin in the back. Javelin in the foot, still killed the dude though. It is sword, I love it. I'm not currently using it anymore. I'm using like a two-handed war axe, which is insanely strong. Oh, and they're right into my crossbowman, which wasn't good. I was trying to stop that from happening, and they don't look like they have too many cataphracts. It just looks like it's normal Imperial cavalry there, maybe even light cavalry. Yeah, I mean, is there barding on the horse? Very minimal barding, so the horses aren't all that well defended. But these crossbowmen, from what I've discovered so far in playing, are lethal. Like, they are so dangerous. One thing you will want to do if you are going to go with the Vlandian crossbowmen or sharpshooters is they will begin shooting at a ridiculous range. Like, an insane range. And their accuracy, of course, at maximum range isn't going to be all that effective. So, what I would do is wait until the enemy are somewhat close, not too close but not too far away, and then order them to fire at will. You'll get more enemy casualties that way, and your guys won't run out of ammunition as quickly, like getting, you know, some kills. Let's get our cavalry on the charge here. Now, the way cavalry works in this game is ingenious. I love it's so simple, but it's so awesome. So if you order your cavalry to charge, they will charge the enemy, deal some damage on the charge, and then they'll make it to a safe distance away from the enemy, and then reinitiate that charge. how cavalry would actually perform in medieval warfare. So they're basically shock cavalry, and I love how they work. They get in and out of combat quite easily for the most part, depending on the size of the enemy force that they have clashed with. And it kind of just bothers me because I was playing a Total War Warhammer 3 campaign the other day, and I am playing as Archaon, the Everchosen. So I had some Chaos Knights with lances, you know, the shock cavalry variant. And whenever they got into melee combat, it was so difficult to get them out. Even if all they had to do physically was turn the horse around and run away, they just got stuck in a blob. Even if the enemy was on one side of the blob and my cavalry was on the other, it was impossible for them just to turn around and run. They get stuck so easily. And this game is really refreshing, and if this is the way Mount & Blade's going, I've always wondered, like, why is there no competitor to the Total War series? Because the Total War series is slipping. I know people love the Total War series, and I do as well. That's why I'm saying this. But they're dumbing down the games, they're less nuanced, and mods are having to make up for that, which is why I like the modding community so much. This game is going in that direction, in the Total War direction. Just look at the deployment. It's just cool. I love it. This game was a very pleasant surprise. I decided to stream it for a couple of hours the other day, I was bored. And honestly, it's been the only thing I've really played since. I mean, look at this. The troops stand around cheering. It looks and sounds like you've won a battle. It feels good. And after every battle, you can look forward to the loot and what you can get from them. So this is a lord. He's a named character. I can take him as my prisoner. And let's say there was somebody in the Vlandian faction who had a beef with this guy, I could probably turn them over to him. I don't know if that's true. Again, I haven't really played this game that much. But it's so in-depth to where I am at the moment in my story, my campaign, that there's things that I'm just discovering you can do. Like, you can flirt with Lord and like the daughters of lords. Just flirt with them. Have a conversation with them. It's hilarious. Like, it's so hilarious. You can build your relationships with different merchants in towns and cities, and they will give you better trained troops. You can recruit better troops from them. So this is where the main enjoyment from the game comes for me. After a battle, your troops will accrue XP just like you are, and you can choose to upgrade them to a higher class of soldier. So you can turn Vlandian crossbowmen into Vlandian sharpshooters, which are very well armoured for what they are. They've got a decent sword, in fact a very good shield as well, and of course a crossbow. So they're very effective in not only range, but also melee. But look, the choice that you get in this game is beautiful. I've always wanted a game like this, and it's here. It's here. And they very much so promote modding. So there's already an ancient Rome modification in the works where you can play as the ancient Greeks, the Gauls, the Germanic tribes, Rome itself. It's gonna be sick. It's gonna be so fucking cool. There's also a Game of Thrones mod in the works, and I am pretty certain there will be a Lord of the Rings one as well. So imagine you with 500 Rohirrim riding down orcs. Or even Men of Gondor, you can do whatever you want. At that point, this game has so many possibilities to it. Look, just look at all the stuff I have. I've been doing tournaments, which have got me this really good horse, tail horse. The armor's not that great, but I have upgraded at this point. We've got some good gear here with the pauldrons and cloak and the helmet. The Wind Fury is a very good sword. It's got decent length to it, which means it's very effective if you want to fight with your sword on horseback. I ended up replacing this with another sword, which didn't have that length. Bit girthier, so it does have its ups, but it wasn't as good on horseback. So luckily I do have a lance. And there is one thing with a lance, where whenever I'm riding around with it in battle, it has a little icon, which is I'm sure you can lock your lance under your arm or something. You're more sturdy with it or something, but I don't know how that works. I don't even know if that's what it is. But again, there's things that I'm only just discovering now. I'm 20, 25 hours in. It's awesome. It's so good. I'm just going to ride around and out of this Empire territory here. I'm a little bit worried that I would get intercepted by some force. There was this guy, I think his name was Fayal something, and he was obsessed with me. He was a Western Empire mercenary, I believe, and he would just not leave me alone. Everywhere I went, he was there, and he chased me out of. I was trying to burn villages and stuff, just trying to make a living, really, scrape by, and he didn't want any part of it. So here we come to the merchant, where I can sell my goods. You can see what currency he has up in the top left compared to what I have in the top right. I'm just looking at these standards here. Now, these standards will be brought in the battle with you visually, I believe, and they give you some benefits. So this is an action strategy RPG, and as you can see, it's got a lot of RPG mechanics. A lot. And this is just all the clothing that my guys took off the dead soldiers that we just wiped out there in that previous battle. We'll just sell everything we looted from them, and it makes us a tiny respectable sum of cash. Now, you can't actually get a lot of money from doing tournaments, and tournaments are quite fun. They're a little bit challenging depending on the weapon you're given in whatever round, but if you do, work on practicing with them, then you can become really good and just wipe out everyone in every single tournament in every city. And the reward is not so much the amount you bet or put down on each round or match. It's more so the piece of armor or the weapon or the horse or whatever you get as your reward for winning the overall tournament and becoming the champion. Sometimes stuff in there sells for like 23k, 12k, 13k. I mean, the prices are just crazy, and it's a very good way of making money. Very good. But I'm just looking at these swords and seeing if it's worth like switching over. Espada is really nice, but it is shorter there, which means it would be less effective on horseback. And me having so many actual horses in my inventory as well, it just increases the overall amount you can carry. So it increases your weight load, really. It just allows you to have more in your inventory. You also need to actually bring food with you. So you can see I've got some grain and fish there. That will feed your army, because, an army marches on its stomach. So the different, the more variety in food that you've actually got in your food stores, the higher the morale your overall army will have. So you need to make sure of a lot of things. You need to make sure you've got enough, what they call dinars in this game, or gold, to just pay your troops their wage, because that comes into it as well. You need to make sure they've all got food. And it's something that I believe they did in a couple of Total War games. I believe 3 Kingdoms. Was it even called 3 Kingdoms? I can't remember. That Total War game that was based on Lu Bu, Liu Bei, Cao Cao. Oh, that's a very nice hauberk there. Very nice, actually. And it looks white there, the tabard. But that would have your actual emblem on it and change the colour of your house, which is cool. But all the armour, a lot of the high-end stuff costs quite a lot. Quite a lot, in fact. There's some, that hauberk there was 25k or something. But the amount of customization is crazy. I mean, the pauldron and cape would probably look good with a Western Empire type armor set. But I think, just a mail hauberk, this helmet, maybe an actual cloak, proper heavy cloak, would look awesome. Or even this, the scale shoulder guards. They look sick. They look really cool. Oh, I can't wait for the mods. I just can't wait for them. The Game of Thrones mod for this would be sick. High Sparathian. All the way. Every day. And here's, of course, the leveling up system. So whenever you're using one-handed weapons and you get kills with it, of course you gain XP. And you get skill points for them, which increase not just your abilities, but also your forces, your army's abilities too. You can get bonuses to damage done to shields with certain weapons. Things like that. Your infantry can move faster too. With them, I believe it's more leadership. You can then command more troops in battle. Of course, that's going to be more expensive. You're going to require more food as well. And there's something else as well. There's something that really just blew my mind on such a small detail, but that I noticed last night when I was playing. I was trying to upgrade some of my Vlandian cavalry to like knights or something, and I couldn't do it. Now, I just hovered over to see why I couldn't do it, and I didn't have any war horses in my inventory. That blew my mind. Something as simple as that. That's something that the Total War series doesn't do anymore. I like that. Little nuanced things like that. Little details. So I went to Karas here, where I am currently, last night, bought myself some chargers, and then upgraded my cavalry to knights. Makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. And this Victoria Castle is where I want. Now, I do have some real estate, which I'll show you in the next video. A little bit further over to the east, but I want the Victoria Castle. And I'm going to see if I can figure out a way to get it. If you guys have any like tips on this game, I would very much appreciate them. Because the diplomacy side of things and talking with people, it's not my strong suit. And I like just killing enemy forces and selling their like their belongings off to the highest bidder. But I'm enjoying this game a lot. More so than I thought I ever would. So yeah, hope you're enjoying this game if you're playing it. Hope you're enjoying whatever it is that you are playing. Hope you're having a good day. And of course, like always, we'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Oh, it's funny, is it?